This is a field that a lot of people do and do poorly. I like to think that we can raise the level of achievement of people that are doing this for a living so that people in their homes can have better playing pianos. Since if I work on a piano and I do a bad job, no one's going to die. But that's no reason to not do a good job. I want the pianos in people's homes to play at a level that currently doesn't really exist to a great extent. And I think that if we have students here that understand how to do a better than just competent job working on pianos, that the piano owning public will benefit from this. They'll have instruments that they can enjoy more. And until, if you've lived in a part of the country that never had air conditioning, and all of a sudden you have air conditioning, it's like, oh my goodness, how much better life can be. So if you've had this piano that has just kind of gotten along and not really played up to its potential, and all of a sudden someone comes and works on it and doesn't do a whole lot of work, but does intelligent work and addresses the main problems, now all of a sudden you've got this piano and you say, oh my goodness, I didn't know that my little piano could play this well. I feel that we're all learning from each other. It has to be an atmosphere of collaboration. So it's that collaborative effort. It's that we're going to show you what we know, but we also would like you to tell us what you found out even within yourself.
So when we're looking at students for our program, what we're really looking for is, what's the background, what's the potential aptitude, and what's the personality. Piano technology is a field where you don't expect someone to come in with a lot of experience. And the question is, how can you take someone from maybe a little bit of experience or no experience at all and, spend 2 years training them to be a competent technician and go into the job market? It's not that hard to teach someone to tune and to be a very competent tuner when they apply themselves. What tends to be lost in technician training is understanding how the piano interacts with itself in the whole rest of the piano. So a big part of our program is rebuilding. It's not because we expect every student who leaves here to go and open a rebuilding shop. In truth, they may never rebuild another piano again after they leave. But understanding how each of those little parts interact with itself in the piano and with each other in the piano makes for a more well-rounded and more well-versed technician, quite frankly. It's a very one-on-one experience. So they'll get that side of it. They'll learn to tune, and we teach tuning by ear. Students early on are using machines to help give them a metric to see how they're doing. But the expectation is they tune by ear. That is the expected standard upon leaving. They will learn to rebuild. We do everything from pin blocks and soundboards and bridges to restringing to just little parts replacement. We do it all here. And we also have a big bit of work done with the local stores. Technicians need to learn to be able to run a successful business on their own. They need to maintain a client base. They need to learn to do invoices and do estimates and contracts. And that's a big part of what their time here is spent doing, because they need to be able to be successful upon leaving and running their own business.
Oh man, my favorite part of the process is probably deconstructing the piano. It's always a lot of fun, and you do have to be very careful to take things apart in the right way and to take measurements of everything, but just getting to break off all the strings and pull things out, it's a lot of fun. So I was in college for music composition, and as most music majors do, when you get to be a junior or senior, you start asking, what am I going to do for money? And so I met my parents' piano technician, who was a really cool guy, and just started talking to him, and found out it was something that you work a lot with your hands with, that's also related to music and getting to run your own business. And so I was very interested in it, started apprenticing under him, but he was in Augusta, Georgia, and I was in Columbia, South Carolina at the time, which was a little bit far to drive every day. And so just started trying to do it on my own, and had a good amount of clients in Columbia, but was kind of limited in what I could do as far as training. with other people, so decided to look for more training, and that's how I found University of Houston and got involved with the program here. Yeah, so I've been here for 7 months at this point, and I remember when we got here, we had a Steinway that we were doing insurance work on it. It had been really beat up. Had some water dripped on it. The finish was just in terrible condition. It was barely playing, and we're just about to ship it off in the next week. And just looking at the pictures of the before and after is incredible. Even pianos that were in decent condition when they get here, like an average home piano that someone just really wants to bring back to life. It's amazing how you can play a piano and you can still play on it, but then when you really take it and you regulate it and you put in new action parts and you let someone who's a master in the industry take over and bring out that piano's voice, whether it's through the voicing or the shaping of the hammers or the action regulation, it turns into a whole new piano. And so the condition of the piano before it gets here, no matter what it is, it's going to be a lot better when it leaves. Yeah, every piano is different. I remember when I first got here, we had 2 Steinway Bs, and I was like, oh, well, we'll be doing basically the same thing on these 2. But it turned out to be completely different because they were from completely different eras of when those pianos were built. And so even on 2 pianos where you're doing the same exact process, we could be putting 2 pin blocks in. Each pin block is going to be shaped differently. Each piano has a little bit of different scale, each its own unique quirks, which is what makes it so fun to work on and why it's such a specialized skill that you need this training for. So what they're really looking for here is just someone that matches with the type of personality that they want in the shop, and that will be a good fit for the industry after they finish the program. And so what that looks like is someone that's very driven to learn. It's very important to them here that you come out being very good at what you do and not doing mediocre work. And so every process that we go through here, they want to make sure that you're doing it right and that you're not learning any sort of process that's going to hurt the piano. You're only doing things that are going to make it better. And so that 1 being driven, 1 being someone that's going to do excellent work, and then 3, just someone that's committed. They don't want someone who's only going to be in here a couple days, kind of wishy-washy. A lot of us have moved here from another state, from another city, and are here at least 20 hours a week doing this so that we can become the best piano technicians we can be. And so I would say that's mostly what they're looking for, and then someone who has, there's people here who have no experience at all, who just came into it just hungry to learn. And then there's some of us who, like me, had 2 or 3 years of experience, but just needed that next boost in their career.
Mm-hmm.